Welcome back. What we're going to do here now is take a little bit closer look at this 91 M91 Russian version of the Moisen Nagant. Now, I might not be saying that right. I've heard that pronounced several different ways. But I got this gun back in 1988. And truthfully, I just stuck it in the cupboard and forgot about it. During the 90s, those model 91/30 Moisens were everywhere. For 115 bucks, you could get a gun look like brand new with a bayonet sling and 4 or 8 ammo pouches. You could buy a whole case of them. They come like 10 in a case. They were everywhere for a couple years, and then they were gone. And now I see them on like Gunbroker for $400 or $500, and I'm thinking I could have bought 5 of them for that, you know. But anyway, back on the subject here. I'm drifting. I bought this gun in '88 off a buddy of mine. I didn't actually buy it. He hawked it to me. He wanted $75. I only had 58 bucks. He left it with me. And then through a bunch of tragic circumstances, he was never able to come back and get it again. And that's a big whole long story I could tell, but I'm going to stick to the gun. Because somebody said I talk too much and I don't talk about the gun. But that was a negative. Yeah, that was my only negative comment ever. But I felt negative anyway. But anyway, the guy that brought this gun home with him, and as you can see, there's actually 2 cuts in the stock, but I think one of them was an arsenal job. If you look right there real close, you can see there's a line there. But there's also a screw right there at that band, like maybe it's cut there too. But you can see there's a line right there too. But that's done so well that I think maybe that was an arsenal that did that, repaired it. Anyway, the guy was in World War II. He was never up on the front lines. He was in supply or something like that. Like a clerk or a truck driver or somebody like that. He fired 1 shot during the whole war and killed the German soldier that was carrying this rifle. And the man never spoke about it, but the man's wife told the son that it was a kid, that the German soldier was a young kid. Now, whether that was like during the end of the war when those Hitler Youths were fighting, and that's why he didn't have a Mauser, why he had this gun, I don't know, but the old man took the story to his grave. And through a bunch of tragic events of the father dying and things that happened to the son, I picked this gun up when he was broke and heading to the pawn shop, saved it from the pawn shop. He said, promise me I can come back and get it. And I said, hey, as long as you're alive and I'm alive, the gun will be here for you. And I'm the one that's still left here. He had a bunch of accidents and crazy things happen to him and got arrested. And due to one of his accidents and not having his medicine, he had seizures and ended up going insane, I think is what the story was. But this whole gun's kind of like covered with sadness. Some young little German kid died. Some guy that shot 1 shot and through the whole war killed a young kid. Spent the rest of his life with, you know what they call it? PDS or, I'm sorry veterans, I can't remember that. But you know what I'm talking about. It ruined that guy's whole life. He was a terrible guy. But that kid loved him, worshipped the ground he walked on. The only reason I couldn't hate the guy, and I only met him a few times, was he worked in the mill and he wore those green mill clothes all the time. And a lot of the old guys did that worked in the mill. They always had them green mill clothes on. And my dad was one of them. And when I seen him, he kind of reminded me of my dad, wearing those green clothes like that, you know, and looking a little like my dad. And I just couldn't hate him for some reason. He was nasty. But again, I learned more about this gun in the last couple of days than I never really knew about it. Like I said, I bought it. I think this gun's only been touched. This is the 4th time in all them years. My nephew come to live with me in '92. So all my guns got moved into my bedroom. Yeah, look at that case back there. And then when he moved out when he was 18, they all got moved back in to that room. So that was twice it was touched. And then I brought it out here the other day. So this is like the 3rd time since 1988. Yeah, I know I'm showing that case more. I know Arizona kids wanting to look at that. When I got that years ago, there was a lot more white furs stuck out the end. But pulling rifles in and out or something, the fuzziness went away from it. I stopped keeping guns in it years ago. I didn't want the weight of the guns hanging on the wall. I hang it upside down on the wall in there. If you look through some of my gun room videos, you'll see it hanging in there on the wall. Beautifully made though. Guy said from shooting a cow to shipping it to me, he did every bit of the work himself. Skinning it, tanning it, the whole deal. I guess I call this a 2-for-1 video, huh? Hey, I want to thank everybody that did comment on that last post. That short got the most it ever did, and I picked up a couple of subscribers. It was sweet. And hey, if I have to have a few people tell me I talk too much, and he's leaving, to make the people that like to hear my bullshit stick around and stay, so be it. I'm hoping these videos will be a sort of a reference to my kids and grandkids when I'm dead, where these guns come from and what their values are. I have mostly granddaughters. I have one grandson. My son's a felon. He can't have a gun. He's actually in prison right now. So when he gets out, I don't know where he's going to go. I don't know what to do. Can't have a felon come to a house full of guns. He is a victim of that opioid crisis they talked about years ago when those real strong pain pills come out, Oxycontins. He was in an accident, lost his spleen. They gave him Oxycontins for a year. He ended up being a drug addict. Ruined his whole life. I wanted him to sue. They had a thing where you could sue that company. And I wanted him to do it, but he was all drunk and shit and didn't know what he was doing. And oh well, let's change the subject on that one. The guy did say I bitched him much too. But hey, a man gets on here and just tells what he's doing, that's all, you know. That's what's going on in my life. Nothing pretty about them guns, is it? Like, look at that weird offset. I see I'm probably going to buy a bayonet. I seen they had bayonets on there for $40. I'm probably going to pick up a bayonet for that. And then damn, the other day I left right in the middle of a video showing this. because I wanted to show my cowboy action shooting rig that almost matches that for not being made by the same person. And damn if I could find it. It's got to be hanging in that corner with all that leather. I know I whipped that around fast, I'm sorry. I thought it was hooked around these guns right here. Not on the floor nowhere. Look at them levers in there. 45-70 guide gun. Nicest 30-30 Winchester you'll probably ever see in your life in there too. That's a Vanguard. Yeah, the Vanguard there. Where in hell is that holster? That's a fun piece there too. Once I don't fall down here, stuck with everything. I have a lot of leather hanging on that one hook. Excuse me. Arizona Kid. I got foot lockers. Oh, there's one of the holsters right there. The belt must be in there. But you can see that color and that pattern. It kind of matches that. That's a double holster belt for a set of Ruger Procures. That looks a lot like it. I literally have foot lockers full of old holsters. There's some of these bayonets here. Now that's just a little foot locker there. I have regular military foot lockers downstairs just full of old vintage holsters. I used to take pictures. I'd put my revolvers in them old holsters and take different pictures of them. I got thousands of pictures of my guns. When I couldn't shoot them, I just played with them that way. All right, well, I held everybody up for 12 minutes. That's the case for my paratrooper there. I made the foolish mistake of taking that paratrooper right there. I bought that gun. It was in a sporterized Bishop stock with a 5-round magazine. And I sold that old Bishop stock and bought this shitty old aftermarket paratrooper and put it in. And then had it inside of this. That's what the paratrooper hooks to his leg when he jumps out of the plane. That's an original 42 there, I think. But I should have never done that. I should have left that gun like it was. Okay, I wish I'd remember that guy's name that said that I talk too much. So I just talked through this whole video just for the hell of it. And I want to thank all you guys that are commenting and talking with me. As you see, I got a lot more to talk about. I don't know if making a video a day is a good thing because it kills all your views on your last video. Yeah, there's some crazy looking holsters in there. Alright, well hey, that's my story. I'm going to stick to it. 15 minutes, people's time span, they say, or how's that go? Attention span. People's attention spans are only 15 minutes, so I got 30 seconds. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Thanks everybody for commenting and share. I don't get no shares. I got 1 share in the last month. I don't know why nobody shares. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. See you all later. Have a good one. Hope everybody has a good day.